Hey there, friend. Thanks for tuning in to Keep Moving Forward. I'm your host, Diana. I'm a podcaster, author, but most importantly, I am a community builder, and I am incredibly passionate about helping you find the community and the resources that you need to become the most genuine and authentic version of yourself. In this podcast, we are all about identifying the limiting beliefs that are causing us to become stuck so that we can better incorporate change and action into our lives and the world. I am so excited that you're here, and I can't wait to share some honest conversation with you. So without further ado, let's move forward. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keep Moving Forward Friday. I hope that you are having a beautiful day today. I am so excited for this episode because it is inspired by this beautiful day that I am having today and the time that I had to myself this morning. I will tell you, I didn't really anticipate it being a super beautiful day because I woke up early. I woke up about 30 minutes before my alarm because my dog needed to go out. So I woke up extra early this morning, let her out, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm just gonna go back to bed, get an extra 30 minutes of sleep. I'm like, I don't know if 30 minutes is worth it. So I ended up staying up those extra 30 minutes. And I will tell you, that extra 30 minutes that I had this morning of just quiet and journaling and presence, it really led to the inspiration of today's episode and just the beautiful day that I am having. And I realize that I'm a morning person. Not a lot of people are morning people. I am a morning person. And so having an extra 30 minutes didn't make me feel like I was sleepwalking this morning or anything like that. It, in fact, did the opposite. It really energized me and set me up for success for today, for this beautiful day, and honestly, for this episode. I didn't know what I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. I'm trying to really record based on what's on my heart and what I'm experiencing kind of in real time. And that extra time that I had this morning really, really brought me to where I am right now and having this conversation with you. I have been doing let me say this. I've been making morning routines more of a priority for me in 2024. It's been something that I know in my life serves me really, really well. And in my pursuit of creating more space in my life and in myself, I'm really leaning into that morning routine. And so for 2024, I've been really intentional about waking up early, journaling, doing a tarot card pull, and utilizing my morning for the things that set me up for success during the day. And so having an extra 30 minutes this morning, I didn't do anything additional that I haven't done pretty much so every other day this month, but I just had more time to really sit in it and more time to reflect on it and just more space to be in that moment. And I will tell you that I loved that time this morning, and it really led to what I wanted to share with you today. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, I have some notes, so you're going to see me kind of turn sideways, pick up my notes, and look at the resources. Those of you who are listening in the podcast, you're not going to notice a difference, but those of you who are watching on YouTube, you're going to see that. So to begin, I want to share with you what my January affirmation is. So as I'm preparing for each of the upcoming months, like when I do kind of my monthly check-in with myself, I'm doing a tarot card pull for the month. So in December, when I set up my planner and was preparing for January of 2024, I pulled the 7 of Earth. Now, those of you who are listening in, if you're familiar with tarot, or those of you who are not familiar with tarot, there are 4 main suits. So there is Wands, Cups, pentacles, and swords. My specific tarot deck, which is the Sacred Web Tarot deck, I will link it in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. You can get it on Amazon. Last time I looked, it was only like $15 on Amazon. I think I paid $40 for it when I got it. So it's a great deal. I will link it in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. But my specific deck that I bought is very different than a typical tarot deck. So typical tarot deck has the major arcana and the minor, and the minor is made up of the, like I said, the wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. Mine still has the major arcana. The minor arcana, however, is not made up of the same suits. It's made up of elements. So you have water, fire, earth, and air. So to kind of give you some context, so wands relates to fire, air relates to swords, or I kind of said that backwards, swords relates to air, whatever. Pentacles aligns with earth, and then cups aligns with water. So if you are familiar with the tarot deck and you know what those things mean, I just wanted to give you some context. If you're not, don't worry, you can still listen in. So I wanted to share with you that I received, my card pull for the month of January was 7 of Earth, or if you're familiar with more of a standard tarot deck, that's 7 of Pentacles. And so when I pull a card, what I do is I read the description, I read the information of it, and really extract the thing that is kind of speaking to me in that card. So in my tarot deck, 7 of Earth is contemplation. And the quote that I specifically pulled from that card is, "Be kind to yourself as you patiently wait for the next phase of your journey to begin." And I really felt like that was a very, very aligned card for especially what I was doing and where I was going in the first month of 2024 in January, because I knew that I was going to be really slowing down and just being present in myself, being present in my physical and mental wellness, and focusing in on those kind of key pieces of my life. And really just taking a step back from everything else and kind of more so observing and seeing how things unfold. So that card was very much so aligned with just what I knew this month was going to be. Now, I do a card pull every morning that I journal. So typically I journal 5 to 6 days a week in the morning when I wake up. And so I do a card pull, and then I journal, I reflect, I again extract kind of those key phrases from that card that really hit home. Now today, I pulled 7 of Water, and this actually isn't the first time that I pulled this card this month. It's a repeat customer, if you will. So 7 of Water, if again you're familiar with the kind of a standard tarot deck, that relates to the cups, 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Water, it is, the key word here is opportunity. And if you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm actually going to show you the card. So this is what the card looks like. Those of you who are not watching on YouTube, I'll explain it. So the 7 of Water has 7, it actually looks like cups, but the goblet of the cup is like a lotus flower. So it has 7 cups, 7 lotus flowers on it. And right in the middle, there's 2 flowers and then 2 looks like koi fish, kind of swimming in opposite directions. And like I said, the word for this card is opportunity. And I want to read you this card because, like I said, this card has come up a lot in my month. It's a repeat customer, as I said. And so I was thinking with my time this morning, with, that extra space that I had for myself, I was thinking this morning, was like, how does this, because it's come up multiple times, so I'm really seeing a trend here, but how does this relate to the bigger picture? How does this relate to my month? So I'm going to read you what this says. It says, "Now is the time to soak in the magical realm of opportunity that you have created from the depths of your imagination. In this in this transformative space of possibility and potential, the flowers bloom. Here, your relationship to your purpose begins to sympathize with the longings of your heart. You have learned to be generous with yourself and others, and have come to understand that generosity makes more room for love. Let yourself float patiently in the healing water. Pay attention to your dreams, the mystery and wonder of your unconscious mind. Make time for reflection. An abundance of options requires careful assessment. Which cup will you select? In which direction will you go? What will you create when the time is right for the water to carry you home? And again, the word is opportunity. And then the one kind of sentence that it is summarized as at the bottom is, I create opportunity when I make time for reflection. So when I read this card, I want to kind of share with you specifically the lines that stood out to me. So in this transformative space of possibility and potential, flowers bloom. Let yourself float patiently in the healing water. Make time for reflection. Which cup will I choose? In which direction will I go? And what will I create when the time is right for the water to carry me home? So I want to tie that back to the 7 of Earth that I have for this month, which is that be kind to yourself as you patiently wait for the next phase of your journey to begin. And then this card is really kind of that, as I am being patient, what am I reflecting on? What am I feeling? What am I seeing with my imagination? What is the possibility? What are the potentials? What is the opportunity for me moving forward as I wait in these healing waters? And as I take a step forward into February, I know that, we're 2/3 of the way through the month, but as we are closing out this month to move forward, what cup will I select? Which direction will I go? And what will I create as I am moving forward? And all of this really just hit home for me because now that I've had some time and some space to process, I feel like I am ready to move forward. But what am I going to choose? Am I going to choose the path of what I kind of did in 2023, where it's a lot of hustle, a lot of go, a lot of big plans and big goals and do? Or am I going to pick the path that I really want to be intentional on, of take a step back, create space, do things in alignment? And there are, I'm sure, are many other paths for me to take that are, somewhere in the middle. Those are kind of like two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. And so there's going to be a lot of paths that are kind of in between those. But what path am I going to take? What am I going to choose as I am moving forward? That is the name of the podcast, Keep Moving Forward. As I keep moving forward, what am I going to choose? Which path am I going to select? And am I going to do it in a way that continues to allow for potential and possibility and space? I have a lot to really unpack with that. And not only unpack, but to really be intentional on moving forward. Next week, the next week's episode is actually going to be a rebroadcast of an episode that I published in the beginning of February of 2023 that's focused on kind of doing like a month-end check-in and moving forward with like habits and routines and goals and things that you want to do in the next month. And I've really kind of been in that headspace, as I know that we are over halfway through the month. We're about 2/3 of the way through the month. Looking forward and trying to prepare, but not in a way that's like hustle and hard work. It's in a way that's like, what has this month been for me? How am I feeling? What emotions have been coming up for me this month? What have I been experiencing? Have things felt good? Have things felt bad? Have things felt hard? Have they felt easy? I'm really in this space of contemplation, of preparation. Not to dive into the deep end, but just to be in alignment with myself. I come back to this Sacred Web Tarot deck a lot because I think that it really helps me to just uncover what are some of the things that I need to address. And not only that, I really love this tarot deck because it has connections not only to the elements, like Mother Nature's elements, but it also has connections to the different chakras. So I can read about the different cards and the different suits, and I find out, what chakra that is essentially engaging. And what I love most about all of this is that I am doing this for myself, knowing that I have the 2024 Fierce Ladies Collective Retreat happening in September, where we are going to focus, like the theme of the retreat is emerging, but not only that, emerging through the use of Mother Nature's elements. So earth, fire, air, water, spirit, using those to emerge. And in this month, it was never really intentional. It was something that kind of happened. Like the universe helped me to experience it. And now I see it as being very intentional, but it wasn't to begin with. But what I'm recognizing is that I am preparing myself to be able to lead this retreat by using this specific deck and connecting with Mother Nature's elements and connecting with the different chakras and really connecting to that kind of feminine spirit that I have within myself. I am preparing to be able to do the things that I'm going to do in the future. And so it all comes back, like I said, it all comes back to that sitting in contemplation, like waiting, patiently waiting for the next phase of my journey. And now this opportunity, I'm recognizing that I have an opportunity to really grow in myself so that I can help others grow as well. I'm really enjoying 2024 so far. I recognize that, as this airs, we are only 19 days into 366. We have a long journey ahead of us, but I'm really enjoying it because for the first time in a long time, it really feels like I'm able to see how the puzzle pieces all fit together. Whereas previously I was jamming puzzle pieces in, hoping that they would fit. I don't know if any of you here watch New Girl. New Girl is like my diehard, like default show. Love it. Have seen it a million times. And Winston, one of the characters, is awful at puzzles, but he loves to do them. And so he like sits down at the table and he's like, Winston, about to do some puzzling. And then like later at the end of the episode, he like holds up his puzzle and it is awful. Like it is like taped together. It is none of the pieces. It's probably 5 different puzzles all like jammed into one. It's awful. But that's what it kind of felt like previously, where I was just jamming puzzle pieces, making them stick, trying to make it fit, taping over them. And now it's like, wait a minute. I actually see what the puzzle is supposed to be. I actually see my part in this puzzle and how pieces very nicely fit together. I don't have to shove them together. I don't have to tape it up. All because I'm taking time to reflect and journal and bring the universe and bring Mother Nature's elements and bring the chakras to the forefront of my mind. I think the next thing that I'm really going to be working towards is learning more about like feminine cycles, like the menstrual cycle and the different phases of the menstrual cycle, and also aligning that with what I do and aligning my days and how I fill my days and what I'm doing with that cycle, in addition to the intentionality of the journaling, of spending time with the tarot and the elements and the chakras and all of that. Like all of this, I couldn't see any of this because I didn't let that feminine side be a part of my life. I was so masculine. All of this to say, this is not a teaching episode. This is not me telling you what to do. This isn't, but all of this to say that it's amazing. When we truly take a step back and allow the beautiful things of our lives space, things just seem to align a little bit better. Things just start to make sense a little bit more. And if you're listening in and you're in like massive burnout right now, like this episode isn't for you. And not to say that you can't listen, but if you're in massive burnout, hearing this is probably just going to make you struggle to understand how you can do these things for your life, because that's where I was 6 months ago. I was in massive burnout. I was in massive, personal struggle. And I could never imagine this kind of scenario. I could never imagine this kind of flow. And so if you are in survival mode, if you are in burnout, these feelings and emotions that I'm feeling right now, don't make that your end goal. Don't make that where you want to go, because it's going to be hard. Like it's like going from, freezing cold to like super hot. Like it's going to be a shock to the system. But I did get here. Eventually. And it only came because I made a very conscious choice to slow the F down. And I incorporated the tools, the habits, the routines, the intentionality to get here. And what I'm recognizing is that this is possible, because I don't think I ever realized that. I could not imagine this. Like I said, 6 months ago, I couldn't imagine this. I didn't understand how anybody could live in this very flowy state, because I never really experienced it for myself. And so if you're in survival mode, if you're in burnout, if you're struggling, and listening to this episode may have even pissed you off because you're like, this is not me. Take a breath. I understand that this isn't for you. I'm not recording it for you, but I am recording it for a future version of you who incorporates the tools and incorporates the habits and incorporates the routines and incorporates the intentionality. But take it slow. Take it slow. And some of you who may have already been taking it slow, you'll get this. This is a great place to be. And I still, like I said, I have a long road ahead of me. I am not like in this like perfect place, but I'm a heck of a lot better than I was 6 months ago. And I'm excited to share about it now. And I'm excited to share about how I'm feeling and what's going on for me. And I really hope we come back to this. I really hope that 4 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, I can have this same conversation with you. Or maybe I can have a more enlightened conversation with you. Or maybe I am in burnout and I need to get myself back on track. But like I said, all of this to say that when it comes back to intentionality, there's so much that can happen. And there's so much that can be seen, and there's so much healing that can happen. And that's kind of where I am right now. It's just like self-healing. It's a beautiful place, friends. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's been a beautiful day. It was a beautiful moment. This was a beautiful conversation. Thanks for hanging out with me and sharing this time. Like I said, I am going to link the Sacred Web Tarot deck in the show notes if you guys want to check it out. It is super cheap on Amazon. He said it's like 70% off, way cheaper than what I paid for it. So go to Amazon, get it. It is it is a beautiful, like very aesthetically pleasing, beautiful deck. But like I said, those connections to like Mother Nature and the chakras, it's pretty great. All right, guys, real quickly, next week, I know I already mentioned it, but next week is going to be a rebroadcast episode. But if you are looking to do like a monthly check-in and prepare yourself for the upcoming month, it is a very valuable episode. Highly recommend checking it out. All right. Otherwise, thank you so much for spending this time together. And until I see you next Friday, keep moving forward. My dear friend, thank you so much for our conversation today. If this is what you needed, it would mean the world to me if you would take a screenshot of this episode and share it on social media. Make sure that you tag me so that I can personally thank you for our amazing chat. I cannot wait to see all the ways that you are growing, learning, and taking action in your daily life. I am so thankful for you. And until next Friday, friend, keep moving forward.